All right, what's up? Welcome to the Magician's Closet. I just want to do some readings, and so we're just gonna do some freestyle. So you can just choose from, I guess we'll do this candle, this incense, and this playing card. All right, and then whichever item you go to will be the kind of reading you'll get. Okay, perfect. So I'll see you guys at your piles. All right, so my candle people who will remain here and throughout the reading. All right, cool. So we're gonna do something really cool. I just felt the need to try something, so we're just gonna see how it goes. All right, so I want you guys to concentrate on a question that you guys have in your mind. All right, cool. And so ask yourself that question, and I'm going to give you guys an answer. Oh, you can't even see it. Let's redo that. Okay, hold on. I see you guys have. I feel like you guys. This is the kind of pile that has a wandering mind. Oh, let me bring you guys up. We can't keep throwing these things. All right. So what I'm seeing is at first that you guys have a lot of fire. There's a lot of intense emotion going on, and there's a lot of intuitive messages being thrown at you throughout the day. It seems like you guys seem to have a very, very active lives. You guys are very much the people who tend to have large social networks around you, but somehow you're always seemingly isolated, and there's always this distance that you have between the people that you build walls and you build connections with. Um I think a lot of the distrust and a lot of unease you feel around people and when you're in social scenarios is I feel like you constantly highlighting and isolating the difference that you experience and how you are so much more different. Hold on, girl. I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, um there's just a lot of distance. There's just a lot of distance between you, between people, between circumstances, between the spaces that you guys have. That really threw me off, like, bitch. And I feel like that's another thing. Motherfuckers is always aggravating, irritating. Motherfuckers are always interjecting, and I feel like projecting onto, you, because you are an individual, so then it leads to this circular complex. I think you really need to put yourself in spaces where people are doing the same things as you, so you can align and better gravitate towards a community that will embrace you. I think a lot of the emotions and a lot of the hardship that you've currently been experiencing is a direct result of you not having the right community to support you. It's weird because you have a community and a network that supports you, but it doesn't necessarily feel that way, and there's not a link, and there's not a bond. And so I think that you just would benefit from just a stronger social, like a stronger, like you seem like you need a friend group, basically. And I think that's another thing is like finding a group that you can be yourself with them, meaning that you can feel like you're with yourself and they're with you, if that makes sense. I think that for you, this is also a pile that wanders a lot about prosperity. And I think that the sooner you embrace your individuality, the sooner you'll have a clearer definition and goal in terms of your career, because there's a lot of mystery and unease, and it seems like there's, like you have an idea, but it's nothing that really speaks to you. And the reason why things aren't speaking to you currently is because you're not in a space where you even speak to you, and you really look at yourself for who you are. And so I think that it would be really advisable for you to really focus on yourself and to connect and to do exercises in whatever way that looks like to help you better align with your own ideas and see yourself for who you are. I think also another thing for you is that astrology may be very powerful for you. That's another thing that's coming up. And I think that also you're very connected to the element um, water. And so I think that it would just, or you have I don't want to say more connected to water, because I think this pile, I feel like water, earth, and fire. And there's the kind of connections, but I think this pile particularly needs to reconnect with like the element of water. And, release a lot of their burdens and their woes and their fears and a lot of their traumas back into the water and back into, just you just need to be revitalized and cleansed in a way that only, baths and swimming in the ocean and rivers and streams can do. And so I encourage you to do that in Epsom salt and, like saltwater bath, whatever, however you do it. So I think that that's something that would be really, really cool. And then I think for you also look into your ancestors, particularly your grandmother's side on your mother's side, because that's who is really supporting you and really actively involved. And so it would behoove you to, so it would just be best for you to give, some things to them. Is there anything else that I see for you? Hmm. I think also another thing is that you could be receiving a new spirit animal during this time or a new totem animal. I'm not sure. I'm not really familiar, but I feel like animals themselves are, making more of a spiritual significance and an appearance and becoming more noticeable throughout your day and your life. And so I would encourage you to develop your own system where you can identify the meanings and the connections of those, or maybe go do research or, connect and however, figure out how you connect with these things. I think this pile is very intuitive as well. I think you guys just need to really trust in your instinct and trust in the feelings, which is weird because it seems like you have been doing that, but not in the areas that you really need it the most. I think you also would benefit from journaling and a good cry. But you guys don't really strike me as crying. And I think like fighting would be really cool for somebody in this pile as well. All right, you guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed. I look forward to the next pile. If you want to rock, you can stay. If you want to go, you can leave. I'm going to fuck with you. All right. So, pile 2, welcome. How are you? How's everything? I hope it was a nice little travel. I'm actually gonna light you with pile 1. I'm gonna light you up real quick. You feel me? Get this going. Pile 2. I see pile 2. One thing about y'all, y'all are very useful. I can see y'all are very crafty, resourceful people, and maybe you've been in a lot of situations where you're like, damn, I've really had to be fucking resourceful. And it's true because you're a resourceful ass motherfucker, and good on you, because there are people who can't do it. And so even though it may be a pain and it may be a burden and it may feel hard, shit, at least you can, because there are a lot of motherfuckers and a lot of people who can't. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is you're going to concentrate on a question, and I'm going to throw these stones, and then we're just going to read them. Okay, cool. So focus on your question. All right, now that you have your question, go ahead and ask it or send it however. Okay, I'm about to go. Wow. I think 1, we're going to recast this, but 2, you guys are definitely moving, busybodies. Definitely. I see you guys are on the go. And I also feel like travel is very, significant for you guys. Okay, so I think travel is very significant. I think this pile will have the opportunity to either relocate or your job is changing. And so there's a lot of relocation going on. But travel in terms of vacationing is very much here and coming in the near future. I think this pile needs to be mindful of their spending and just really develop a savings, because finances seem okay to good, but it seems like, long story short, your finances will be good for the next 2 months, 2 to 3 months, I would definitely say. However, when it gets closer towards fall, and not really necessarily fall, but when you get closer towards like winter, the end of fall, early winter, midwinter, it seems like you're going to have some unexpected bills popping up or just expenses that you may have to take care of. And so it's best while you're in the financial opportunity space to save, because it seems like you're not going to necessarily get the opportunity to make this much money and have the ability to save at the same time. So Spirit is saying, communicating that you need to save now, because December, January, seeming like pockets are going to wish you would have saved the money that you had. I think that also for you guys, it seems like there's a lot of, I want to say like gossip surrounding your name, and a lot of like it's just there's just a lot of eyes on you, and a lot of attention and a lot of direction being given to you guys, and you guys are, it seems like you guys are really underneath a microscope. It seems like there's a lot of evaluations. It seems like you've just been evaluating, um like, you know, like work, school, relationships. It seems like everything has just been so introspective, and I think that now I'm connecting that this isn't the people, more so this is you. Yes, the gossip is there, of course, and like, you know, people are having conversations, but it's more so about you've been evaluating the scenarios that you've been in, the people, and that's what the conversation is about, and that's what the dialogue is. Okay, so you're the one who's really reevaluating where things are. I think this is a rightful decision for you, and I think that there seems to be like some, you know, inclinations that your social sphere and your social, you know, connective, your friend group and your family group and whoever you call your support system wasn't really filling the gap and really bridging the void, and wasn't offering you the necessary resources. And it also seems like there was some opportunity and strife between who was affiliated with who that would lead to, you know, a further splitting, which only made you feel, you know, further like you lacked support. And it's also seems like there was also whoever the most recent family gathering you were at, that, you know, like where you became the topic of discussion. So it's giving like, you know, graduation or birthday party, or even like at the family reunion while they were highlighting you. Whoever pulled a stunt, you should definitely stay away from. Whoever was at that family event that really caused a scene, because there's kind of this family to like cousin friend ratio circle that I see happening, and that person is not the best. Okay, that was a lot. I hope that made sense. Okay, it did. But all right, so I'm gonna read through you guys because something was telling me to read through. You got really deep in somebody's business. Okay. So lastly, for you guys, I would say this is a very Sagittarian pile. It just feels very Sagittarius. I think that you guys should just honestly continue to do what you're doing. I think that you're moving in the right direction, and that you're really more ordered and you're more on a path. And I think that you need to embrace sometimes when things aren't going according to plan, because the detours can honestly be the best destinations. I think that that's the only thing that I would advise. Like everything seems like, it seems like you're really like honestly on a good track. So it was cool. Thank y'all so much. You can either continue to rock or you can continue to ride. I'm gonna see y'all later, and we're on the next slide or pile. All right, pile 3. What's up? What's up? What's up? How y'all living? How y'all feeling? So honestly, this is really speaking to me. Ooh, 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 ooh. This is really speaking to me. This card, this King of Spades. You know, I feel like a lot of you who've chosen this pile have been in a situation to where you've been made to, you know, you've had to, you know, stand in roles that you've been very uncomfortable with. And for, you know, to basically be the bad guy, and you've had to put your foot down for a lot of things that you were unsure about, and make a lot of decisions that you were unsure about. But this card in this selection of this pile affirms that the decisions that you made, the choices that you made, and the actions and the role that you stepped into was not only rightfully yours, destined to be yours, and the decisions were fated to be and correctly, you know, stepped, or, you know, you passed the test. That's the whole point. God damn, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Everything was for a reason, and your decisions were all, you know, literally all correct. So for this pile, Honestly, you're really pulling your life into alignment and into balance. And I think it's so interesting because the pattern that it formed is indicating to me that, this is the person in the pile that feels like their life is the most chaotic because you're dealing with so much and you're concerned with so much and you're really just becoming a mogul. And I think that that's what it is understanding that the chaos is something that will always exist in the mind. And so you can't allow the mind to be a mirror or an inclination or, a clue into what the actual state and the reality of what your life is. Because on the inside it could be chaos, but on the outside it could be a marvel. And you need to understand that, you know, when we see a king, we never see or understand or really get a peek into his mind. So you never know what's really going on. You never know what is going on in Barack Obama's mind. And so maybe if we had a clue into their minds, we'd understand that, the shit you're dealing with, the way you're handling things, the way you're juggling things, the way you're moving, the decisions you're making, nigga, you're a motherfucking boss. Like, nigga, you moving like, you know what I'm saying? Like you on that shit. You're on that shit. And we're gonna do another read through just because it's giving. I would say you're really on that shit. I would say you're really pulling things in together. And I think your chi is really coming into, like, your energy is really coming in together. Honestly, good job. It costs to be the motherfucking boss. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. And understand that everybody ain't meant to wear the motherfucking crown. And nigga, whether or not you want to be king, you're a king. Embrace who you are and do the damn thing. All right, I'm done preaching. That's the end of my sermon. But no, for real, I love y'all. Like, it feels like you've gone through the most, but understand that you are crowned, literally. And understand that, every new scenario that you experience from this point on is just a nugget of wisdom that you can use to further, rule and govern the empire that you're building. Castles were built with steps, and steps start as one. Understand that like, that song Iggy? Go listen to that shit. Bow Down, Goddess. Even if you don't like Iggy, listen to the lyrics. Like, she said, bow down to a god. Like, nigga, you like bow down to a goddess. She said they preaching about prophets. Ain't no one man that could stop us. Bow down to a goddess. Goddess? Got it, nigga? Like, you a motherfucking king, queen, or in between. Who gives a fuck? No one can claim your legacy but you. So if you don't claim the legacy, but who? All right, I'm done for real. Y'all be easy. Y'all can check out another reading, like, subscribe. I love y'all so much. Check out my website. It'll be down in the description. Thank you so much for the love and the support. You guys really mean a lot. This means a lot. This whole journey is a lot. I'm going to see y'all on the flip. But for now, I'm a dip. Bye.